everybody? My name's Joe. I'm here to play a little police simulator. There's more to show those who are looking at the game, like maybe do I want to buy it? Should I buy it? That kind of stuff. I'm going to give you my opinions on that. I'm also going to show you some of the mechanics. So like if you have the game but you don't really know the rules, like they have a whole manual in the game itself, but not everybody wants to go through each rule every time an arrest comes up. And I found that when I first got the game, most of the videos are on there like 9 months old or longer, because that's when the game originally came out for like Steam and stuff, right? Like I play on the PS4. So a lot of the updates and rules have changed a little bit in the game. So currently this is June something 2023, so it's up to date when I'm going to post it. And so the rules will be pretty much up to date if you're watching the video anytime recently. But what I'm doing this video for is to show you possible arrests. Now if you're just starting, you're going to have like basically foot patrol, and there's not going to be a whole lot you can do, so I'll show you those things first, and then as you get more points, then you'll get other things, new things to do, like you'll get a car to drive around in, making different arrests. I'll show you those things. But this is basically actual tutorial on what I've learned on my own, because other tutorials, people didn't know what they were doing, and that, you know, they played it when it first came out, so you know, of course they didn't know what they're doing. When I played it for myself, I didn't know what I was doing, right? But now that I do have a good grip on it, I'm watching people now that are currently playing it making the same mistakes I made or stuff like that. So I'm going to continue, and I'm going to make a video on what to do, what not to do, that kind of stuff. It'll probably be broken up into several videos, just because there's several different things I can do now, because now technically I'm more than 19 hours into it. I have another character that I've played over 70 hours into it, so I played like almost 100 hours into the game already, so I'm quite experienced at it. And I have all duty stars in my other character. But I'll show you what I got right now and some of the things you can do. And so if you're just starting, you can kind of get an idea of what you can do. Now, there are some people, like I've seen some like actual police officers play the game, and they're like, well, you can give them a ticket for this, but you can't search them. Or you can give them a ticket for this on their car, but you can't tow it away. I'm here to give you what the game is allowing you to do. And so you can get as many points, especially at the beginning when you're first starting out. You want to get as many points as you can to, you know, get the better things to play along with. So if you can give a ticket for an expired plate to a car that's parked, I'm going to turn the radio off right now, because when you first start, you don't have the radio. You can't get in call-in. So this is basically, if you were to start right off the bat, let her say her piece. I'm just going to say something.
Recently, we've been receiving a lot of complaints about cars driving too fast. Maybe you can pay special attention to speeders?
Copy that.
Now this is a car patrol, but I'm going to go on foot for now. I'm just going to show you what you would do on a foot patrol. But yeah, so there are things an actual cop says you can't do. Like if someone has a expired plate and they're parked, you can't have them towed away, but in this game you can. So do that, because then you get extra points. Now you can zoom in with the L. Well, okay, I'm playing on the PS4. Whatever you're playing on, there is a zoom in button, and since we're in 2023, you can see that the plate is fine. Now you can check once you've checked it, you can see who it belongs to and all that stuff, but that doesn't really matter when it's a parked car, because you can't do anything with it. You know, like if the plate's valid and they're not, the thing is not expired, which is not, so that car is perfectly fine. And I think this one is too, at least as far as the plate goes and the expiry. All right, let's try and go over here. This is now this I'm playing on casual, which means you can like jaywalk and So the rules are casual. Like, I think if you play off casual, you can't jaywalk. You got to cross the right street. If you're in the car, you got to use your blinker when you're supposed to. You can't go through red lights. Greeting me. Who greeted me? Now, I'd say in the early going, like, I don't really pay attention too much to it in the late going, but in the early going, if someone greets you and you're close by, greet them back. It gets you 2 SP points. Those are your points that get you better things.
Hey,
now you have.
I need your help.
This is something else that you can't do in the early going, but right now he's asking for assistance. So
Hi, officer. Could you
there
help me
are
out, please?
locations you
I'm looking
can.
for Burger Heaven. Could you point
There,
to it on the map?
I don't think I have Burger
All right.
Heaven in this one,
Let's see if I
on
can
this
find it on the
part
map.
of the map, but I'll see. There are certain locations that you can unlock just by walking by them, and you want to do that so that when you get to the point where people start asking you directions, you can give them directions to that location. I don't think I have a Burger Heaven in this group. It's just a lot of Natasha's and bakeries and yeah. So I suggest when you don't have the location, just send them to a random one. I don't think you lose points if you send them to a random one.
You need to take a cab to get there. Thanks
If
anyway,
you
officer.
if you send them to an actual spot that you do on the map, I think you lose CP points. Now your CP points are the points, conduct points. If you get down to 0 on a shift, anything you gained in that shift you lose, and you have to start the shift over again. So you don't want to do that. Okay, now you see how this one's expired? Now, in this version, like if you watch older videos, the license plates are different, but anything that's pink right now are normally valid license plates, or 2023 license plates, the stickers. So anything that's not is invalid. So this car has invalid plates, and the valid meter though. So then you would go to parking tickets, expired plate. Now remember what I said, that normally like you're not allowed to tow a vehicle with expired plates. In this game you can. So I got 5 points for giving the ticket for the expired plate, and I'm going to tow it, and I have it towed now. Getting another 10 points. So that's a 15 points instead of just the 5 I would have gotten if I didn't tow it. Like I said, early going, that's what you want to do. You don't have to wait for the tow truck. You can, but you don't have to. I'll let you actually see it. It's kind of cool. But you know what? You're going to see it when you do it. But once it picks it up, I'll let it go. That's pretty cool. Anyways, back onto. Because I'm going to see if I can find somebody who litters or something. Because that's another early going option. But I'm going to give tickets as well. Oh, see, that person just littered. Now, sometimes you won't even be looking at them, and you'll get that someone littered, and then you'll have a thing over their head pointing at, and sometimes it doesn't make sense because they'll be like way down the street, and you somehow seen it, but I just take it for the points when you need it. So then you would, once you stop them for littering, you got to give them the reason why you're detaining them. And then you go to littering.
The reason you're
in this
being
case,
detained is because I saw you littering. Where do you want me to put the trash?
in the trash can,
trash bin in
dumbass.
the area.
That's not. You're standing right beside one. Anyways, then once you've told them why you're detaining them, you ask for their
Would you
ID.
show me your ID, please? Here's my ID. Take it.
And then you check. Now you can read it from that. Like you can read it from this. Try and read it from the just looking at it like that. But I always go to this part because then you get a better idea. Now this means. Now it says wanted there, but it doesn't mean he's wanted. What it means is because there's no information, he has a fake, or he has a fake ID, which is an arrestable offense. So you give it back to him, and then that's when you go to the cuffs, and you go to documents, and then you go to fake ID. Not stolen ID, fake ID, because stolen ID is when it has a picture of, when you look at it, it has a picture of someone that's not what this person looks like. So that would be a stolen ID.
reason why you're under arrest is because you're carrying a fake ID.
You're a terrible cop.
And then once you've arrested them, you can now search them, which I'm not sure if that's the case in every situation, but I'm pretty sure it is, because I mean, once you've arrested them, you need to know if they have any illegal items on them or dangerous items, right?
I'm going to
So I think you can, but you definitely can in the game, so do that. It'll give you points, and also, in this case, now you're allowed to legally carry an ounce of marijuana, so he has exactly that, so it's not illegal, and everything else is fine. So there's no other reason. Well, now I originally stopped him for the littering, not the ID, so I can choose to give him the ticket for littering or just a verbal warning. Now, because he's, you know, has a fake ID, anytime they have another crime already, I normally give them a ticket. Sometimes if they cooperate and there's no other reason not to, I'll give them a verbal warning. You get the same amount of points whether you give them a verbal warning or a ticket. So I'm gonna give him a ticket this time because he's already broken the law by having a fake ID.
Which will be around $25.
I didn't expect it to be that expensive.
Alright, and then now in the early going, you don't have a vehicle, nor do you have the ability to escort the arrestee in your own vehicle. That's not until you get to the next district and you earn points to get to that ability as well. So what you would have to do is call in a transport. So I'll do that to show you how that works.
To take a suspect into custody.
Understood. We're sending the closest transport to your location.
Now, again, I don't think you have to wait, but I would suggest waiting, especially on the early going, for the transport to get here. It's down there, as you can see. It's down there at a red light. And the game has bugs for some reason. Because there was a red light, they decided they want to run down all the way here instead of drive down here. But whatever, who cares? As long as there's somebody who littered over there. I'm going to get him if this person gets here. I think it was that guy in the red shirt. It might not be, though.
Please cooperate and come with me.
Okay, now I can move on. I think because there's the litter. I think it was the guy in the red shirt. Now, the rule of thumb for this is if you don't know for sure, don't stop them. Just because then you lose CP points if you stop for the wrong thing or for something they haven't done at all. I'm going to risk it, because if I'm wrong, then you'll see how you lose CP points. But I'm pretty sure I'm right on this one.
I detained you.
I was right.
I saw
okay.
You littering.
Oh, I really wasn't paying attention. Sorry.
Now, you don't always get the arrow over the head, especially if you see it happening. But it's normally when you're not looking that it'll say, so this person littered, or this person jaywalked, and then you try and look for the arrow over the person's head. So I stopped him for littering. I was right. Now ask him for his ID. Always ask for the ID at some point. Sure. Normally it's right after you tell. Like if you're in the early going and you're just stopping for people for littering, or jaywalking, you always ask for the ID after you've told them what you are stopping them for. Never ask beforehand, because then it's illegal. You can't do that. You got to tell them why you're stopping them first. Alright, this guy has an expired ID and no gun permit, but that's fine, because unless he's holding a gun. Now you see citizen registration, owner, and vehicle registration. Even though he has invalid insurance, because he's not driving and I'm not trying to stop him, like I didn't stop him for driving, that I can't give him any tickets for. It can only be on the stuff that's on the citizen registered owner side, because I'm stopping him on the street walking. And so he has an expired ID. I stopped him from littering. Now, you can choose to get him for both. Like, you can give him a ticket for both, or you can give him a warning for one, a ticket for another. If they cooperate, I tend to give them a ticket for the least expensive one. And now you see it up there at the top there, it said he looked nervous. That, whether it's true or not legally in real life, I don't know. I know I keep saying that, but I'm just pointing out, in the video game, if it says they look nervous, you have a probable cause to frisk them. Not search them, frisk them. Oops, I hit the wrong button there. Always have I should have had it ready already. Always have your taser ready. when it comes to the situations, because if he has something where I frisk him, it will be wrong. But now it says search, but you're not searching him yet. You go to search, and that gives you the option to do one or the other. Now he looks nervous, but that could easily be because he got stopped by a cop, and he knows he has an expired ID. He knows he littered, so he's worried about the ticket. But I'm going to frisk him, see if he has anything on him.
In case you have any illegal items.
Alright, no items found. So, but I got the 5 points for frisking him. See, now, so clearly it was legal in the game. Now, he has been cooperating, and because he has been cooperating, and I didn't check, I keep forgetting to check. Speeding, driving with broken windshield, and robbery. Okay, none of those things are going to really affect my decision here. There's only one that on prior convictions that will affect my decision for people that litter or any minor ones. If they have, it says child abuse, I always give them a ticket. Always. It's just what I do. It's just how I play the game. But he didn't have that, so I'm going to get him for the expired ID, but it's the most expensive one. So actually I'm going to do that one sec. Yeah, no, I'll do that one first. No, I do that one. I do it, so I give them good news. So I'm going to give them the littering first, because it's like $25. I'm going to get a ticket for that.
I have to fine you for littering, which will cost you $25.
So much money for such a small infraction.
And the is far more expensive to ticket, so I'm just going to give him a verbal warning, because he has been cooperating. Now, you don't have to play like that. You can give him a ticket for everything if you want. It doesn't really matter. But I'm just choosing to play this way.
Oh, thank you.
But you see why I did it second? Because then they can leave happy, right? Instead of leaving angry.
All right, you're free to go.
And then you time to go. All right. Okay, this person. Okay, this person greeted me. Okay, what did this person say he did? I don't see any things on the ground. Could be jaywalking, but he's just standing there, so I'm not going to do anything. I don't know what he did. I didn't see what it said at the top, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to see if I can find another. I'm going to find one more thing, if I can find where I can stack charges, and because that's a new feature, came out a month or 2 months ago. The stacking features, which always gave me trouble once I got it, because I couldn't figure out how to do it. It was so annoying. Okay, that's yeah, that's 2022. We're in 2023, so that's going to get towed. But always give them the ticket first for the expired plate. That way you get the most points. I'll get 15 points instead of 5. Or if I just towed it, I'd get 10. But you know, you want all the points you can get in the early going.
Can you send a tow truck to my current location? I have a vehicle here that needs
I'll
towing.
probably make cuts in the video.
Bar. I'll never get there on time.
Oh, this person's running for some reason. What's she doing?
Stop! I don't want to shoot you!
I always give them a warning. Well, first warning, sometimes a second. That's so annoying. I don't care if the jaywalker right now. This woman's running for some reason.
Stop! I don't want to shoot you!
Alright, once they ignore me twice, I always tase them. Okay, so I'm going to arrest her for fleeing, because she was running for some reason. So I'm going to handcuff her for fleeing.
You're being arrested for fleeing from a law enforcement officer.
Please, no!
I'm going to check her ID.
Let me see your ID, please.
See if that explains why she might
Sure,
have been
officer.
running.
Here you go.
Okay, well, expired ID would not be... she's got an open warrant. That's why she's running. So, I'm going to... and I smell cannabis. So, I'm going to search her first. Because if she does have a legal amount of cannabis, I can charge her for the open warrant and the cannabis, so I can stack charges. So I'm going to search her first.
I have to search you. Kindly cooperate with me.
Or if she has an illegal weapon on her, that'd be great too. Oh, she has a bag of white powder, so she doesn't have cannabis on her, but she does have a bag. Now this one screwed me over last time when they had a bag of white powder, and I friggin' charged them with both. So I'm gonna try and do it. If I get it, if I get the stacking where I lose one, it's probably for that one again. But I'm going to. I'm gonna make sure it's not. Maybe because I was in the wrong spot, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. Okay, no. So I'm going to arrest or liability. You go to stack. You go to liabilities. Then I would no narcotics. She has possession of narcotics. Yes, that's what she has. So I'm gonna hit square. Now don't hit X on it. Don't charge. I mean, maybe if I did charge her with that way, it might work that way. But I know when you do it that way, you always get lose points. I don't know why. It's just how it works. So you hit square because you want to stack the charges. So square, and now you see how it's gold, and so that way. So that's how it's you know it's picked, and then you hit circle to go back out, and then she also has an open warrant. So I hit square again, and then you hit triangle. Now I should not lose points, but I might. Because that's what happened in possession of narcotics last time.
The reason why you're under
okay,
arrest
I didn't. See, so that's how you stack charges. You
step to the sidewalk.
go to the charge you want
me,
to
but
charge
is it really
them with.
necessary to give me more
You hit
charges?
square, then you back out to the next charge. You hit circle to go to the next charge, and then hit square again until you get all the charges that you're supposed to stack them with, and then you hit triangle instead of X. Normally it's X. You just press X to charge them. Like when I charged her with fleeing an officer, I just went to the fleeing officer and then I hit X. That's what I did, and it works. But when you're doing stacking charges, you have to go to the liabilities, and then you got to hit square on each one before you square, go out, go to the next one, square. Then when you got them all done, hit triangle. I'm only repeating that a few times because that's one always gets me, or it used to always get me when I first started playing. Alright, so now I can call in a transport.
I need backup to take a suspect into custody.
So I've showed you how to stack charges. I've showed you littering. Jaywalking is the same as littering except for the jaywalking. I showed you how to arrest someone with an open warrant. I've showed you someone who has a fake ID. Okay, we have an accident up here, which in the beginning you're not going to get, but I will cut the video here and start the next video with the accident. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed the first video. I know it's just a tutorial, but I hope you learned stuff, and I hope it helps you in your start to playing this game. Okay, I just forgot something to add on to what I was saying previously about when you first start, and about giving tickets to vehicles that are parked for whatever reason. I'll give you the example here. As you can see, there's parking meter, there's expired license. All of these things that I'm talking about now, this vehicle doesn't have, but it has something that I do want to explain in a second. And then there's special parking zones, like an emergency access, a taxi zone, a fire hydrant. So like if a vehicle is parked in front of a fire hydrant, you can not only give it, you should give it a ticket for that, plus then you can tow it. If it's parked in a no parking zone, so like it doesn't have like a parking space, then you can give a ticket for that and have it towed. Too close to a crosswalk, pretty easily. That's pretty simple. Basically, say a car was parked like right here, that'd be too close to a parking or to a crosswalk. So then you could give it a ticket and then have it towed. Taxi zone, basically. Now those are times that you can, like it'll say between this time and this time on this day, there'll be a sign I don't think one's nearby. No. But there'll be a sign. Well, what's this one? There'll be a sign like this, basically. And it'll say taxi zone, and then it'll have like two, like say between here, and there'll be another sign. That'll be taxi zone. Unless it's a taxi, then it cannot be parking there between that time on that day. So make sure before you give a ticket, you know it's not a taxi, or it's not that day, or it is that day before you give a ticket for that reason. Also, let's see here. Is there one nearby? Whoa. No. Okay, there are certain cars that obviously that's a taxi, but there are cars with the sticker on it that says shift. Basically what that is, like, it'd be right down that lower corner on the left. It'll say shift. That is basically like Uber in the real world. So it would be considered a taxi as well. So if that was parked into a taxi zone, then you can't give it a ticket. What else is there in this one? Street cleaning, same thing. It'll be between two signs, and it'll say what time and what day that a car can't be there. Otherwise, it can be parked there. Bus stop, pretty explanatory. There's a spot where it says bus. If a car is parked on top of it, you can ticket it for that and then have it towed. Handicap zone, same thing as the bus stop and all that stuff. Now, speaking of handicap, as you can see, this car has a handicap placard on its vehicle. So, if per se this car was parked here and the meter was invalid, you cannot give this car a ticket. Any car with a disabled placard, or yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Any car that has that, they can have an expired meter. But anything else, like if it's the license is expired, or the license plate is expired, anything else you can have it ticketed and towed, but except for the meter. But that's only for the vehicles with the placard for that. Okay, I think that's all I needed to mention that I forgot. I just wanted to make a quick add-on to the video, previous first video, because those things will be coming up in your first shift as you're just on a foot patrol. And I'm gonna just, as I kind of walk back, I want to see if I can find a sticker that I was talking about, just so you kind of see what it looks like. I mean, you can read it, it says shift. So I mean, I don't really need to show you, but I'm gonna see if it's on the street. If it's not on the street. But yeah, I just basically did this video to explain, or this tacking on part to explain those few things. So let me go over it again. If the car has a disability placard, then you cannot give it a ticket if the meter is invalid, but any other reason you can. If a car with the shift sticker is parked in a taxi zone, it is also considered a taxi because it's basically like Uber. I think that's mainly the two things. Oh, and then I told you about the parking zones and like the dates. Like you see, no parking between 8 a.m. and 12 noon on Tuesdays. So it's Wednesday, so any car parked there today would be fine because it's a Wednesday. You would use the cleaning zone. If someone was parked there, it would be the cleaning zone ticket you'd be giving them for. Nope, there it is. Yeah, see right there. That thing right there. If it's got that, it's also considered a taxi. Basically, it's Uber. Alright, that's just the tacking on part of the video. It was a little longer than I expected because I was running around. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the first tutorial, and hope it helps you make a lot less mistakes.